Hello guys, welcome to today's market analysis. I'm sorry, yesterday I was traveling, so I couldn't, do a market analysis of yesterday. So if you see what happened today, uh, we opened up with a gap down, if I'm not wrong, or we opened flat. Yeah, we kind of opened flat, and throughout the day, I was tracking the markets because I was bored and my exams had gotten over, so I was looking at the markets all day long. And we saw a steady correction downwards, right? Now, yesterday at around, I think 1:30, I took a funny trade, okay? At 1:30, I saw this dip coming, and somewhere in the back of the mind, I was like, we should buy the dips as we are in a bull run and all of that, right? So I just took a very funny trade with just 1/5 of my capital, and it was offering me risk to ratio 1:1. It was a very aggressive bull put spread, okay? This was the trade that I had taken when I was bored, I was sitting in a farm and I didn't know what to do, so I just took this trade. And I took a aggressive spread so that my loss was just 1,000 rupees, which I had already gained in the week. So essentially, even if the trade goes wrong, which I took out of fun, I would essentially, not lose any money. I mean, I would make net zero this week, and I was kind of fine with it. So, and this trade somehow had some godly intuition. I wanted to get out of it, and I booked some 500 rupees profit. Otherwise, had I held on to this trade, I would have, lost my entire gains for the week. So that was just a fun, silly thing that I did. Nevertheless, so yeah, we steadily moved down today. Now, see, from a charts perspective, if you look at the bigger view, we had from 16,800 we are an uptrend, right? We went up, retraced, went up, retraced, went up, and I feel this is the retracement. Like I don't feel it's a full negative, but my inclination is slightly towards more of a retracement part. Because if you see this particular level, right, of 18,443, like this has been touched multiple times. One, then two, and then today three. We had a breakout from here, and today touches again four. So my intuition is going to be a good resistance, and I mean good support. And even if this breaks, we have our all-time favorite resistance of this 18,100 mark, right? With so many, sorry, supports, guys. With so many supports in the game, I'm finding it hard to believe that it's a reversal. Okay, so let's see the other data points. So chart wise, I am actually bullish. I feel like this is a good time to pick up the long positions, but we'll see. I'll give you my final verdict at the end. So you see open interest, man, I mean, it's day one, so not much of open interest is built. It's day one for the next week expiry, right? So not much day zero technically, not much open interest data as well. But we can see the usual of what happened today. 80,600, 500, 80,600 have a lot of call writing, so that we see as a resistance. So this is the data point that I would like you to concentrate upon. From 30 May till 1st June, volumes are increasing. If you actually see yesterday's volume, right, that was surprisingly very good. If you actually look at the Nifty futures, if you look at the Nifty futures, here you can clearly see the volume. So, 1 second. Okay, so if you I'm not able to move, yeah. So I last 2 days are actually good volumes, right? And they are trying to say something, but I think it is a retracement. But if you see this data point, right, this actually says indications there are fresh shorts being added up, right? Because the volume is increasing and the market is going down. That means the market is actually going down, right? So that means fresh shorts are being added, which is kind of concerning. And if you look at what the big guys are doing, yesterday they are bearish. As in yesterday, I think if I'm not wrong, they had sold some. They had sold a lot of their puts like this. Like green was greater than red on 30 May, right? On 31st day, suddenly the red became more than the green. So it was more like they sold some of their existing greens, bought more reds and all of that. And it was, yeah, it was huge bearish data yesterday. And today the bearishness seems to continue. But here's the thing, right? The ratio is still 2:3. It's not like 2:4 or something, which, I mean, where we need to be concerned. Because if you think about it, uh, I mean, the funny thing, think about it, generally from my experience, 1:2 is a good ratio which signals bearishness, right? 2:3, I would like to pass. I would want to see more confirmations. As I told you, some minus 50K here, minus 16K. All right, so net, I would say a minus, I mean, now I would say 40K bearish. This sell figure is huge, guys. Uh, they're back, I mean, they're shorting for around 1,600 crores and all of that. And FI have started selling for the first, I mean, they sold on 19th May also, but they sold today considering the fact that they bought for so many days. And DIA started booking major profit yesterday, right? So yesterday it's over 2,500 crore. Today they bought for a meager amount, but I feel people are trying to book profits. And this is the figure that I hate. Okay, we are back in the negatives. We are back at minus 30K. We were at plus 25K. Now we are back to minus 30K. That is something that I'm having a bullish bias. I don't like it. So how am I going to deal with this? I'm still not taking any position for the next week. So what I'm looking forward is to the weekly candle closing. Okay, that is gonna tell what's gonna happen in the next. That'll give us a better idea. Okay, so last week we had a bullish engulfing, right? On top of that, we had this red candle. If this red candle goes further in, okay, let's say it forms something like this, right? As in it penetrates into the green, like it penetrates into the gains of last week, then I would prefer selling calls. I would go for a bearish setup. But assume it is like this. Assume, I mean, 18,500, 18,000. This is the spot. I mean, look at the spot. This is the future chart. Look at the spot. If I see tomorrow the close here 18,500 or 600, because the last week's close was around 18,500, right? So if it's above 18,500, I would actually be happy, because then I would see it as a retracement, and I would take a position. But if it penetrates into last week's gains, I'm going to be a bit bearish about it. We will get to know about this at tomorrow 3:25 p.m. That's when I'll take my trade, depending on how it goes. That's it, guys. I'm not a SEBI registered analyst, so this is only for educational purposes. So keep your capital safe and trade with you know trade with passion and with a peace of mind. So that being said, good night.